What's up, kinfolk? This your boy Street Side. Um, Chilling out here, on a Tuesday morning, about 8:15. Um, really ain't got too much to complain about, other than gas just hitting $5 in our area. But when you look at the fact that people on the West Coast are about to start paying $10 a gallon, can't really complain. But so much, I'm still able to function and wake up, start my key, and get in the car, even though it's more expensive. Well, others can't do that, so can't complain. But so much. If you hear some cars driving by or riding around, I'm actually sitting outside the famous Chick-fil-A, debating if I want to get something to eat or not. Tell you, this time it's a blessing to just be content, not happy, because everybody running around trying to be happy all the damn time. Just content with the fact that I can function in a manipulated society where people voted for policies that have us in the situation that we in now. Um, but I had to take these few minutes as I'm making my morning runs, because I mean, as I've been looking through Instagram and YouTube and out here in the streets, I really got to ask myself. I really got a question for the women, and the question is, why are so many mothers running the streets? Now, when I say mothers, I don't mean women. I'm not the moral police. I'm not the moral police. I'm not a guy that can tell a single woman or any woman tell them what they do. But as a man that's 41 years old and come from broken families and broken situations, and we know what the community's been like over these last 20 years. Why are so many mothers so willing to run the streets right now? It's just a weird thing to me, and I don't have any children, so I guess people can criticize me in that way. Say you don't know what you're talking about because you don't have kids. But I've always been blessed to be an observer, and it's just been something that's been growing over these last 20 years, and today it just seems like it's about to be a total disconnect with the mothers of this society. I already know the first rebuttal. Any female that's immature and can't take any criticism is going to say, "What about the men?" We know that. Well, being a 41-year-old man, 9 times out of 10, that kind of rebuttal is going to come from somebody probably 25 younger, maybe even 30, 25 or younger. Because I grew up in a time where all they did was criticize men, especially black men, publicly, nationally, on TV. I remember being a young man when one of the most famous, my favorite cartoon, Thundercats, was on. That had to have been like, what, 80, 89, 90? And right after Thundercats came on, Oprah, one of the biggest shows that there were at the time. Excuse me for a second. Sorry about that. I told you you're going to hear some noise because I'm outside Chick-fil-A. But one of the biggest narratives around that time in 89, 99 was just the entire society. I remember growing up as a little boy wondering, did I even want to be a black man? Because that's all you heard. That's all you would hear on TV. That's all you would see is black men weren't this, black men weren't that. We get it. So we've had 30 to 40 years, probably more than that before I was born, of just being criticized publicly, nationally. But as the internet come and people get to speak out a little bit more, we understand that a lot of women aren't used to men or society criticizing and asking them certain questions that are very valid. But as I sit here and look at this society and I look at the selfishness, I can't have children. I don't know, but when I sit back and look, it's like you would think that when a mother passes a child through her womb, that would be her number one thing. That would be her number one goal, is to raise that child up to make them a functional part of society. But as I'm going further and further, you look at the mid 90s, then you go to the mid 2000s, probably around 2000 2005, and every decade it just seems like there's a growing disconnect between mothers and the need that they have to be in the home raising the children up to keep them out of trouble, keep them from making bad decisions that's going to hurt them for the long run, because there are some decisions that we make out here that we can't come back from fully. I look at how many mothers are using their body for income while having children. And like I said, I'm not the moral police. I'm not one that's a marriage person. I've watched too many marriages fail over my 41 years of life, and I've never been one to think I was special and that things wouldn't happen to me. So I look at what's been going on, and we look at the divorces, we look at the single motherism, the single fatherism, the single parentism, period. But it does become kind of confusing because you just see mothers not prepared to take care of their children, and it doesn't seem to be bothering a lot of them. Now, if this don't pertain to you, please don't give me the same give the same cliche line. It's not all. We get it. But you can't say that if you're a virtuous woman, if you're a woman out here that is taking care of their children, you probably see it, but you might be scared to speak up about it. You know, you see mothers out here still trying to find love, still out here dating, going on dates. You see mothers out here not preparing their children for their 18th year, when it seems like that's when most people want their children to get out of the house. But you have 18 years to prepare a child, to train them up, and they come out here, flounder around. It's really scary to see where it's going. The mothers are getting younger and younger, getting more and more careless. You're just seeing cycles of women having children. You're seeing cycles of mothers guilting their daughters into not leaving, and just houses full of mothers and daughters and children. And I'm more of a results kind of person, and I'm like, look at the results. Look at where it's gotten us as a society. And I'm the kind of person I really like to see. I thrive to see people grow into the person that they become. That is one of the most beautiful things to me. To see people come from nothing, to see children grow up, to see children struggle, and to see them come out of things. But a lot of these kids don't have the right guidance. We keep hearing it's becoming more and more common that men are finding out children aren't theirs. And I'm looking at the irresponsibility and the sickness that has to be in a lot of people's minds to willingly give your body to people but not know who's incubated or who's implanted a seed in you. I don't care what nobody says. I think that's one of the most despicable things that is becoming too common practice on this society. And I advise all men to get a DNA test on your children. All. But what is really going on with the mothers of society to where there's becoming more and more disconnect with, like, I'm in a military state, Virginia, and I look at a lot of people early in the morning driving to the base, and I'm looking at women in the cars, and I'm like, where are your children at? You know? And that's a touchy subject, because we all have to work. Well, of course, women have been fooled into working themselves to death, and fooled into saying that they can do everything in the world when men can't even do everything in the world. But it's just a weird thing to see so many people having kids. Kids aren't even 1 year old. They're out here working all day, coming home, not being able to spend time, the proper time to groom a child and to educate the child personally, leaving kids with babysitters, taking your hard-earned money of your income and having to go to babysitting when it can go to these children's education in the future, go to more better clothes for the children so they can walk around here more confident. It can go to some of these, to more trips for the kids when other kids can go on trips and learn about certain things in life, but it's going to babysitting because mothers and parents and fathers, whichever one, whoever's to blame, aren't holding these families together, at least for the 18 years, or at least being mature enough adults to prioritize the well-being of the children first. It's a sick thing, man, and I really hope a lot of females get it together. Again, I'm not the most articulate person in the world, at least not yet, because I'm just on this YouTube shit, and I really don't even plan to be huge or anything like that. I've watched YouTube long, and I've got a lot of favorite content creators that I watch get themselves in the predicaments to where most of the income comes from this, and I don't want to put myself in that box. But I got a lot of things I want to say to the world, and I do believe that as the more videos I make, I'm going to become more and more clear in my message. But we have a real selfish generation of mothers out here that are still out here looking to finish living their lives, that are still looking to have thrills when you need to just sit down, especially right now with all the confusion going on in the world. You know, these children that may have been about 13, 14, especially the 16-year-old in 2020, they got sent home for 2 years of their lives because everybody got scared of them people in suits. Everybody always criticizing these damn politicians, but as soon as they jump on TV, tell you to do something, y'all asses jump, and then you look at the results and the whole world is in chaos. These children have been robbed of a lot of their developmental years, and it's up to the parents. The parents really need to squash whatever beefs they have and prioritize their future. I don't think a lot of parents care about their children's future, especially when it comes to having investment accounts put aside for them, you know. But I'm gonna get up off of here right now, man. The topic bothers me too much to really keep going on, and I'll probably come back on another day and expound on what I got to say. So y'all just be safe.